my college, whenever everybody left, it was just sort of like, you had to go to uni. It didn't feel like we didn't, like, it didn't feel like we had a choice. It was sort of like we had lessons essentially that were dedicated to filling in your UCAS forms and filling in your application and whatever. So when I was in college, it was sort of like, oh, this is something that you have to do. This is like the next stage. And it felt very much like you were in high school and you were saying, oh, you have to go to college or whatever. So I guess for uni, like, it wasn't so much what it offered me. It just sort of felt like that was it. Like, that was the next stage. Even though I felt like it was something that I had to go to, the appeal of it at the time was just a chance to like get away from your parents. Not in the sense that like you didn't want to be with your parents, but you were finally getting that independence and getting to be around people your own age more often and getting to sort of find yourself. And for me, I didn't really have a sense of self before uni. Like, I had no idea who I was. And then over the 3 years, like, I feel like I've finally developed like a personality essentially. And now at the end of uni, I'm sort of, I kind of know who I am a bit more. I'm not completely there, but uni for me really offered a chance to find myself, as it were. In terms of my feelings for university, I'm sort of 50-50 on it. Like, on the one hand, I'm like, because my brother, for example, didn't go to university just out of choice. And I always say to him, like, you've really missed out here. Like, I feel like it's such a sort of integral experience for any young person to have, to like sort of find yourself and to become independent and to sort of just break away from just your hometown, really, and to just get away and discover something new. So I think university is incredible for that, and for making contacts and whatever. But on the other hand, I do feel like nowadays it is very commercialized, especially with the amount of, you know, money that it costs. I know it is covered by the loans, but I feel like quite often university is more of a transaction rather than an experience. And there's been times when I've been at uni that I've really felt like that. But it's sort of 50-50. I think it's the way that you approach it. I think even though it is a bit more commercialized now, it's still incredibly worth going. And of course your loan covers it, so it's fine in the end. But yeah, that's just sort of my 50-50. So, yeah, I mean, you come out of it with debt at the end, but the repayments on the debt it's not really an issue whatsoever if you think about it. Like, you have to earn so much to be able to pay it back anyway. And then when you do, it's not really money that you're going to miss if you're earning that much. And the degree did get you there. So I feel like when people complain about that, it's not really like that big of an issue. I don't think that you need a degree to do something in the creative industry in terms of developing the skills, but in terms of gaining contacts and in gaining colleagues, people that you can work with and collaborate with in the future, I think it is incredibly important to come to university. And I don't know anybody that I haven't been to university with that I would collaborate with now. Maybe like one or two, but the majority of the people that I would consider my colleagues and my contacts are from university. So I think if you're wanting to sort of network and to create a network of people to work with, then it's really, really important to come to uni. Yeah. But obviously you don't need a degree for the skills, but I feel like university is mostly about networking and it's not really about the skills, if that makes sense. That could be a really controversial hot take. I don't regret coming to university, but I do wish I'd taken the gap year. Because like I said, it was sort of that sort of pressured expectation when I was in college that you have to go now. And I suggested taking a gap year and everyone was like, no, like, don't take a gap year, like, you have to go now. Like, you'll fall out of the process, like, you won't end up going to uni, whatever, don't take a gap year. And I was like, shoot, like, okay, whatever. And I sort of was frightened into going to uni, because the alternative just sounded so monstrous. But because I changed course 3 times, 4 times. I was originally on law, and then I was on journalism. And then when I actually came to uni, I started on film production. And then 5 weeks in, I changed to another course. And it's just like, I had no idea what I wanted to do. And I feel like that really impacted my uni experience. So I feel like if you are indecisive, don't feel pressured to come to uni. just take the gap year and just work it out, because it's so much better than spending 3 years and 27 grand on something that you're not super passionate about. I was lucky that this course I ended up changing to, I ended up having a passion for, but some people might not be so lucky. If somebody sat watching this video right now, wondering if they should come to university, I would say, if you're indecisive, don't jump into something. If you need time to think about what you want to do, you know, there's always like clearing or whatever, or if you need longer, there's always just take a gap year. Like, it's not that long a time. You can save up, you can experience life, you can experience independence. Don't just jump into something because you feel like you have to, because you will not have a good experience and you'll regret it. Like, you will regret it. So that's probably the biggest bit of advice that I would give. Join in with things. Don't just sit in your dormitory all day, because you will have an awful, awful uni experience. Like, I know people that just, we never saw them, and they never really saw the light of day, and they ended up with like no friends, which was really sad, because they were like lovely people. But then if you're actually getting involved with things, you will just flourish, and you'll have such a better time. Like, in first year, I was really in my shell, and I didn't really like hang out with people that much, and that really like impacted me. But then in third year, I just completely flipped that, and I'm so social now, and I'm having such a better time than I had the previous 2 years. So yeah, just go outside, meet people, join in with things. If I didn't go to university, I would... Not a clue. I would probably be doing nothing at all and feeling very sorry for myself. I don't know. I feel like I probably would have just gotten a job. But again, I wouldn't have really had the skills to get anything, or the contacts to sort of do anything higher than that, what I was passionate for, I think. I think I'd be a lot more closed-minded, less experienced, less knowledgeable of the world if I hadn't have gone to university. I feel like I'd still be in that sort of small town, hometown mindset, whereas now I'm sort of, my horizons have opened, and I see the world in a completely different light. I think I'd be half the person that I am now if I hadn't gone to uni. I mean, it's given me the opportunity to grow. It's given me a ton of new friends that like I can't imagine life without now. It's given me an opportunity to meet amazing people that I love very much. It's given me the opportunity to find myself as a person, to explore my passions, to create things with equipment that I would have no chance of getting my hands on outside of university. Yeah, it's just given me a fucking great 3 years. And I'm very thankful for it. My bank account isn't, but that's fine.